Another John Deere 425 part 2 video here. Got it all tore down, panels off it, got it clean, motors out of it. As you can see, the loader brackets are off of it. Everything's been stripped and cleaned, and some parts have been sold. I'm going to buy a motor tomorrow for it. It's a new old stock motor. I don't know the year on it. What I can tell you is there is still a serial tag underneath that PTO shaft there, so I'm going to take a gander at that, and it does have the plastic valve covers on it. So I'm not sure the age on it. I was told it's brand new, but we'll see. It looks new. It does come with a radiator and all that kind of stuff too. So kind of what my plan with that is hopefully sell this motor. I'm just going to throw it up on Marketplace for cheap. And then I'll sell the radiator and all that stuff separate. I don't even know what the radiator fits. It looks like it's for a Deere, but I don't know yet. I haven't seen it in person. So if that's the case, I know those radiators are worth some money, so hopefully I can recoup a little bit of cost with that. But yeah, like I said, got the motor out, got her all stripped down. I cleaned the fins and everything out of the radiator. It was filthy, probably had never ever been done before. A lot of dirt come out of there. So got that all cleaned up. One thing I did find interesting is there is no vent cover for the transaxle. Found that when I took the fender pan off, and just thought that was interesting. So I'm not sure what happened, where it went, or anything else like that. I do think this trans was resealed at some point, just given the fact that this looks fairly new, this sealant here. Even down where the brake mechanism is, down on this side, that looks like it's been resealed. Probably about the same time this has been resealed. There was a ton of oil up here, so my thinking is there was, because this is gone, so I don't know what kind of oil they put in it. Probably not low-vis high guard, but I don't know. I personally don't know. It does have a Napa hydraulic filter or oil filter on it, so my guess is it doesn't have the low-vis high guard on it. However, I use Baldwin filters on my stuff, and that's what I'm going to put on this. So like I said, I'm torn. I don't know what to think, kind of why that's missing. It either somebody was in here and they broke it off, or like they took it off and couldn't figure out how to put it all back together, or it got pushed out from pressure. So again, not sure what to think. Also, this looks new, this filler neck here. Again, I don't know. Just interesting to kind of think about what's, because I don't know the history on it. But yeah, I did sell the 40 loader. So got a guy coming maybe tomorrow afternoon. I don't know, we'll see. He's supposed to let me know. And the plan is he's going to bring his tractor here. We're going to swap his pressure relief valve and this freewheel lever, his for mine. And I'm going to help him mount the loader brackets and everything, and he's going to take everything home. So, and the only reason he's going to do that is because in the process of me moving the 40 loader from my driveway to behind my house where I keep my trailer, is because I broke my power steering cylinder on my tractor, on my X748. That 40 loader is pretty heavy. I have the tractor shimmed. It didn't really want to pick the 40 loader up, probably because of how far out the weight is on it. That would be my guess, but I don't know the weight of that loader. I haven't looked it up yet, but my thought, here's my power steering cylinder. So it was it goes on the tractor like this, and in the process of moving it, I didn't like the positioning I was in, so I started backing up and turned the wheel, and then I was gonna go straight again, and I was like, wait a minute, why aren't my wheels turning? My steering wheel's moving, but why I've got no steering? So I looked down to my left, and my steering cylinder is just kind of hanging, not really moving, and I'm like, oh great. So I looked, the end was broke off of it, so I took the hoses off, drained as much fluid out of it as I could, and then, my hope was that in the back here, it looked like that ball joint was a threaded part, that it threaded into the back of the cylinder, and it broke off flush. So my hope was, or my thought was, is weld a nut on there, get it nice and hot, and then see if you can spin it off, because there's no way to grab onto it and it's broke off flush. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll try that. So I took some 3/4 inch or 3/4 inch nuts, and I welded them on there. I got them cherry red, filled them with weld and everything like that. I mean, I got my little Lincoln over there, but it's a gas welder. So and initially I put my big impact on it for like lug nuts and stuff like that, and it broke the nut right off. So I'm like, all right. So drilled just a little hole in there, figuring if I can get weld inside there, because it's probably rusted and everything, that it'll help, with the heat and everything like that, with that, with the threads maybe shrinking a little bit, and I could spin it free. Did that, same thing, didn't work. Did it one more time, broke off again. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to try drilling it, and just to see, and I ended up sadly drilling a hole into the back side of the cylinder. And at that point, that was when I knew it was, it's cast on there somehow. I'm not entirely sure how. Honestly, really nothing that I personally want to deal with, as far as like, how it's welded on there or whatever else. I guess in a pinch, really what you could do is you could cut where this weld is here, put this on, and then re-weld it, because I have a hole drilled in the backside here. But at the end of the day, to me, it's like, all right, whatever, it's because I messed it up, it's nothing Deere did or anything like that. It's probably the weight on the front end broke it. But what I did find interesting, and I don't know if it's something that it's probably something I forgot to do personally. This was my other thought, other than too much weight on the front end, from that 40 loader being on there. But this was my other thought, is when I redid my X748, I don't remember if I put a cotter pin in this castle nut here to keep it from spinning off. So I don't know if this loosened up and and then this dropped out of the mount. And so maybe there was too much play in this already. Like this whole thing was moving in the mount, and then it finally just broke. That's my other thought. Really, I don't know. I tried looking online on eBay, Marketplace and all that for a used cylinder. They're out there, but nothing that I can know whether or not that they're going to fit. I'm sure they would, but I don't know if the stroke and all that's going to be the same. I didn't really want the steering to be different. So I ponied up the dough, literally, to the tune of nearly $700 for a hydraulic cylinder through John Deere. Yeah, kind of it is what it is. There was nothing that matched the part number that I need on eBay. There's two different model cylinders for the X748, and I think it goes up to 5,000 or 50,000 or whatever, 05 for serial number, for serial tags, and then it changes. The newer style, I guess, is naturally cheaper, which is what I ultimately wanted, but it is what it is. So yeah. So I have $700 wrapped up into a hydraulic cylinder that I got to pick up this afternoon, sadly. So hopefully we can get that reinstalled, because currently the X748 is stuck out back. And I'll show you kind of how I picked up that loader, so stand by. So you have to excuse the wind. It is a little bit windy today, but kind of what I did is, how you see it is how I was lifting it, and then I had a strap run over the bucket down to this bar here, and I had one on each side, and that's how I was picking the thing up, and I was able to get it up off the ground 5 or 6 inches, enough to move it, and it worked out quite well actually. But like I said, I was over here and I wanted to bring the loader more to where it is now currently, and yeah, I noticed it didn't have any steering on the tractor, so it's been sitting here since when I first brought that 425 home. So yeah, I personally haven't crawled underneath the tractor or anything to see how the axle housing looks, where that other connection point is for the cylinder. I'm kind of scared to look. I don't know what I just don't know. So yeah, that's where we're at with kind of this whole thing. So this 425 has cost me a ton of money so far. However, this deck, other than the front being bent, which I'm going to fix it this afternoon, is in pretty nice shape. There was probably up to the bottom of the metal deck covers there, it was packed with dirt, mud, and glass. Literally there was huge chunks of glass inside this mower deck here. The company I bought it from was a glass company, and like I said, there's quite literally huge chunks of glass underneath here, so I had to be extremely careful cleaning out underneath this deck. But otherwise, I'm encouraged by how nice it looks. There's minimal rust, just a little bit around some of the screw holes here for those deck plate covers, but otherwise, there's no rust anywhere on it really. So I'm very, very encouraged by that. So yeah, I did replace the deck flap here because the other one was broken. Only had a little section of it here, and I had this one from an old project, so I threw that on there. Because I did sell the MC 519 yesterday. I looked into finding a powerful for it. There's nothing around here locally there's nobody that has them, unless you buy the entire MC 519 cart and everything, or you buy another bagger of some sort to get the correct bagger or powerful for this mower deck. So I said screw it, and I ended up selling the MC 519. So yeah, I went down the road, but it is what it is. You still get the blade with the mower, so that's a positive. But anyways, guys, just figure I'd give you a little update on the 425 that I bought the other day, and I'll update you again when I get the motor in and get it running and cruising around and everything. So thanks for watching, guys.